Welcome to lesson 3 of the SwiftUI to-do list app. We're going to continue where we left off after we had built our login view. So let's start working on our registration view. Before we jump in, make sure you destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also say hello in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. So we had created this pretty darn awesome looking login view, and we want to create a registration view as well. So let me actually get rid of our color scheme permutations here. We don't really care to see them anymore. We just want to see our single preview on the right hand side, and I will jump into our register view as soon as it loads. Awesome. So let's jump into register view, and just to refresh y'all's memory, our register view and our final product looks like this, right? So we can see we have a pretty similar looking header. So we want to create that. And then we also want a form similar to login. We just don't want anything at the bottom. So what I'm inclined to do is actually copy and paste a lot of our code for our register screen. So let me actually do that. Let me create a VStack. Maybe we'll start with this header view, and let's see if we can repurpose any of this jazz. So I'll come into here and drop in this, and let's refresh our preview on the right. And cool, we now have our header, but clearly there's a problem, right? So in registration's case, we wanted to say register and start organizing your to-dos, but in this case we have whatever we hard-coded to our header view, so that's no good. What we're going to learn in this video is how we can actually repurpose our abstracted views to be generic, right? So we have one header view, but right now it actually has a fixed angle in terms of its rotation. It has some fixed strings for its actual title and subtitle. Similarly, it has a fixed background color, so on and so forth. So let's get to it. So what I'll actually do here is we want to pass into this header view a title and subtitle. So here we'll have a title string and a subtitle string. And instead of hard coding it inside our usage here, this will take title and this will take subtitle. Now, additionally, what we'll want is we want a rotation angle that we're going to pass in, and this is going to be of type double. And finally, we also want a background color, which is going to be of type color. Respectively, we want to make sure we use them here instead of using our hard-coded values. So there will be background, this one will be angle. Now, if you try to build, you're going to see an issue, right? Respectively to our usage, we need to pass these arguments in. We've said that this view takes in these 4 things, but it's yelling at us starting down here and saying, hey, you didn't pass these in. So let's pass them in. So here, this is the code for our preview. So here we'll say title. We'll just make it title. Subtitle, we'll say subtitle. For our angle, maybe we'll make it 15. And for our background color, we'll make it blue. If you hit Command-Shift-P, let's see if we're able to see our updated preview. Nope, we are not able to see it because we still have an error elsewhere in our project. So let's jump to our other 2 usages of our header view. So there are 2 of them. One is in login and one is in register. So I'll start off with login. So in login, what we want to do is similarly provide all our arguments. So the title will be to-do list. Our subtitle will be get things done. Our angle, I believe, was 15, and our background was pink. Let's copy this into our register usage of our header view, and we're going to change everything. So we'll say the title, in this case, will be register. Our subtitle here will be start organizing to-dos. Our angle is going to be -15. Let me fix that typo. And let's make the background color orange and see what that looks like. So now, if you actually give your preview a refresh, if it doesn't automatically, you'll see our header now looks like what we want it to look like for register. Let me jump back to login and let our canvas load the preview here. This still looks awesome in terms of what we want it to look like for our login screen. And if we go to our header view and refresh this, you'll see in this case, it's actually blue and it says title and subtitle. And where it's getting that from is our preview of the SwiftUI view right down here on line 40. So this is how we can reuse SwiftUI views and components and make them configurable for different screens, rather than copy and pasting everything we've already worked so hard to build and changing it for different cases, right? We don't want a login header view and a register header view. And you can imagine as our app matures, we might have, a dozen header views. It makes a lot more sense to just repurpose our existing code. So that is a primer for reusing our stuff in different views. Let's jump back to our register view. And inside of here, we want to push this guy up. So let me actually add a spacer here. And that does indeed push it up. And let's give this a run. Let's make sure that we are successfully able to go from login to register. Alrighty, looking pretty good. We might actually need to push this up a little bit more in this case, because it does look like for this case, we actually see a little bit of white or black at the top left. So let me adjust this a smidge. So let's jump into header view. And we're gonna change the offset. So let me look for offset here. We are offsetting this whole thing -100. We have a height figured out here. Let's make it -150, and let's make the height taller by 50. Let's give that a run. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, looks good. We probably need to move our text down another 50. So 30 plus 50 is 80. Alrighty, let's see what that looks like. Okay, looking pretty good, I would say. Let me click on this button to open up our register screen. And I think these are looking a whole lot nicer. You might want to move up your login form, since it looks like it did get pushed down just a smidge. So on our form in the login view, we might want to say the offset in the Y direction is -50, so that gets moved up as well. So let's do that. Okay, cool. So this looks a whole lot better positioned, and this looks good as well. So that is all that we have got for lesson 3. Make sure you hit that like button before clicking away, and let me know what you think of this header. Did you use a different shape? Did you use a different rotation? I quite like it. I think it looks pretty nice, even though it's fairly simple, but just having a nice rotation effect on it does give it a sense of creativity, if I don't say so myself. So appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.